BPC may degrade a lot faster than we originally thought. Today we have two studies to break down from peptide crafters. The first one was done with a reconstituted sample of BPC, checking the degradation at month 1, 2, and 3. They actually reran this with a room temperature versus a refrigerated sample to get more data. Over a year ago, there was this myth that 30 days was the cutoff point for all reconstituted peptides. Then that narrative kind of shifted in the research space to 90 days, so let's take a look at the actual data. First, how these studies were conducted. This was measured via HPLC purity and measured content of BPC-157 via Janishik. The first study only looked at refrigerated samples and measured them at that month 1, 2, and 3 mark. Like I said, study 2 went more in depth and actually took a room temperature sample and a refrigerated sample. If you guys don't know, they reconstitute the peptide at month 0, they leave it in liquid solution, and they're going to remeasure those things month 1, month 2, and month 3. Before we get into the numbers, I did get permission to share this with you guys, so huge shout out to peptide crafters for that. The first study did run this on multiple samples, so you're going to see mean content, mean purity, and content retention. Month 1, we started at 11.1 and a 99.885% purity. After the first month refrigerated, we didn't see much change, a 99.5% overall retention. Month 2 was a bigger drop than I would have expected. We went down to 9.767 mgs and a 95.119% purity, aka down to 80% content retention. And then something weird happened. We only went down another 0.5%, which was why peptide crafters wanted to rerun the study. And obviously this still dropped, but we would expect a smooth curve down or, a drastic drop rather than a drastic drop and then a little drop. So in my opinion, let's get into the more interesting numbers. Room temp versus refrigerated. This is the second study that was run over the course of 3 months, and these are the numbers behind me. Very important to note, this is month 0 here and here, so they started off at the same baseline, obviously. The blue line is the refrigerated sample, and the orange is the room temperature sample. We're gonna go right off purity, and you guys can kind of see how the content retention works on the right side. We're going to estimate here, but after month 1, the refrigerated sample moved down to 96.1%, and the room temperature sample was down to 90.3%. Already off the bat, you can see roughly a 6% difference between refrigerated versus room temp. Month 2, you have another small drop, 93.2% for the refrigerated, 85.3% for the room temperature sample. And the final measurements for purity, the refrigerated sample came down to 88.4% and the room temp was down to 81.5%. This pretty much lines up. You see a similar slope on both of these graphs from content to actual purity. Honestly, that's a little bit more degradation than I would have expected. Their past studies done with GHKCU and TB500 did not drop nearly as much. I can do a refresher video for you guys if you want to see that one, but the main thing this tells us is BPC might just degrade a little bit quicker than other peptides. I'd love to see more degradation studies like this. Huge shout out to peptide crafters for running this. I'll do a full in-depth breakdown over on the School Community. You can also check out their site for the full study.